there were traumatic experiences. I think that the very act of seeing something you've built being stripped down, i.e. my studio in Botswana, just, I remember when I was sent the boxes, when my whole entire equipment was placed in boxes. That, I don't know if it was around February, especially if it's a place that you had so transformed over time. And then it took a couple of days to bring all of that, and everything looked like debris. So it took some time to put together the stage. I remember when I was negotiating with the guys at G West, getting some recycled wood, things that you crafted with your hands over time, when it takes just one moment, kind of like one event, to have to strip that all down and put it into boxes. That was very traumatic for me as an experience. I think I had not known having to sit with that level of what seemed like defeat at the time, and not even having the words to describe it at the time. But my ability to reach out for help in terms of talking to other people, getting a counselor and whatnot, was maybe also just the knowledge of previous years to say, when you recognize a traumatic experience, what is a traumatic experience? Something that happens and you feel like you have no control over it. It's very important to reach for help so you can get the necessary tools. And we are not self-sufficient beings. It's okay to tell people, I think I am drowning. And I so very much want to express all ultimate gratitude for everyone who is really there for me in a real way, because, sometimes it takes people reminding you who you are, and that a moment doesn't define you, and that you still have you at your core, your authentic voice, your ability to create and to reinvent, right? So that was in the beginning the trauma, and apart from the COVID-19. But I think family separation, sometimes we don't recognize it as a traumatic experience, but it is, especially if you are used to being with your spouse, you're used to doing things together. Even if I have always been a jet setter wife, I still was able to go home in every 2 months, every 3 months. So however long that I wanted to stay home, 6 months, I would stay home. But this time around, that power was not within my control. And that being the case, that made that a traumatic experience for me. And that family reunification aspect of it was very, very traumatizing. And lastly, when we lost a couple of people in our lives, specifically my uncle, who so graciously went to Maun when Baliti were looking for Enweti. He was a father to me. He received me in the Fologang family in a way that made me belong. And so losing him so suddenly in December of 2020 was a very traumatic experience for me, especially as someone that I had been in communication with and talking about my projects. When are you coming home? And I was really looking forward to that reunification. And he taught me a lot about history and Tswana culture, the Fologang clan, all those different elements. And so losing him, and I really want to express all condolences to his children and those who were in his immediate surrounding at the time. But for me, that broke my heart. End of 2020. It was unexpected loss in that sense, and it was a very, very traumatizing experience. And not only just losing him, but there were other several family members as well. About 4 people within that week died, and you just kind of sit back and just be like, you're speechless. And so those were the traumas that I can specifically point out in the year 2020.